Covering all things LEGO, from Minneapolis to Fiverton and LEGO cities beyond. It's Bricking News.
Welcome back to Bricking News. I am Jason, and with me we have...
I'm still Alex.
Still Alex. He's replaced just Alex.
Yes, just Alex has been replaced by still Alex. What's going on, LEGO fans? And welcome back to another edition of Bricking News, hot off the heels of the Brickslopes LEGO convention a week or so ago?
Yeah, just over a week ago.
Wow, what? I'm still recovering at the moment of this video. I literally so you know, I got home that evening, and it wasn't even that late when we got home.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 o'clock local time.
Something like that.
And I didn't even empty the truck. I drove into the garage, walked in, threw off my shoes and laid down on the couch. And I went, a catalyst to me doing that, though, with not being motivated, was that I turned a corner in my neighborhood, a 35-minute drive, and I heard this crunch, crash in the back. I'm like, oh.
So what was the casualty?
I found out it actually was one of the floors of the Shmew Tower wasn't completely secured, and it slid off behind me, and right behind me, I hear this crunch. I thought it was actually a floor of the Lex complex. I'm actually kind of happy it was the Shmew Tower floor, because those are easier to fix.
Especially the empty ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but those are the higher ones, and that's exactly what fell. So it all worked out just fine in the end. Got it all put back together today, and but yeah, what a fun ride that was. Now, you carried out the Sept complex.
Yes, I did.
Because I carried that in halves, but you just like, and you carried it all through the parking lot.
Well,
and
I was so sick of you. I didn't want to wait for you to come back again.
Tired of it. Let's get the heck out of here. We're sick of looking at each other.
Well, no, you had Josh carry the skinny Lex complex. I'm like, well, I can carry that, sure.
Yeah, it all worked out. But when you plopped it in there, I didn't have it when it was in there. I half it. I cut it in half or switch it. I just thought, okay, Josh, because Josh was with me. Yeah. When we're going home, sharp corners, just reach back and hold it. And he did. But it was the last corner. As we turn into our street, he's holding it, and I hear this crunch. And then with LEGO, it just continues to crunch. Yeah. You know, it's like that part of the movie of Lord of the Rings when is it Merry or is it he knocks that skull or something, the skeleton falls down that shaft and makes all this noise. It was kind of like that. Anyway, but it's all back to normal now, and we're recovering from the chaos. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was 4 full days.
Very full days. Like right when you woke up to all day.
Especially the last 3.
Especially
the
the last
one,
3.
Once you got everything there, it was
and for someone with a dormant job where I'm just sitting on my butt looking at a computer all day, that's hard work. Okay.
I will tell you what his biggest complaint was during the show. This didn't come across in the last video. Every time it was like, I don't want to walk there. That was his complaint. How far he was going to have to walk. So
like within the show, you mean?
Yeah, you would talk about it all the time, and it just made me
I don't want to walk there. And it wasn't even that big. You know, I mean, for us, it was larger than last year. But talking to other people, like, this is the one that I go to is about 4 times this size. I went, well, all right, well,
not going there.
It's a lot of walking. It wasn't the walking, because when you track it on your watch, it's like you walked 3 miles or 4 miles, which is a decent amount. However, it's the standing.
A lot of standing.
You're not sitting down, especially that last day. There was no sitting. In fact, the only time that we sat down was when we ate dinner, when it was about
strips.
Yeah, chicken strips. You ever seen a chicken strip?
Never seen a chicken wear clothes.
I love that. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think at that point it was like an hour or 45 minutes before the end of the show. Mm-hmm. We were like, I just want to eat something. I kind of done.
Yeah. We needed some protein. You brought a sandwich. I had some granola bars.
I didn't want the
no, we need
PB&J.
some.
I
was gonna say real food, but it wasn't real food. Okay, hold on a second. I swear that those were $10 each, but they charged you $10 total.
No, they didn't.
Are you sure?
It was $20.
Okay, good. All right, because I was like,
Good. No, it would have been
well,
good if it was 10.
yeah, that's true. It would have been great. I was like, do they know?
Good, they charged you.
Well, the thing said $10 and you paid it. I'm like, oh, okay, so I owe you $10. All right. He spotted me because I didn't have my wallet with me. Anyway, but I did make a purchase though, didn't I? I didn't buy anything
that's right.
at all towards the very end of the show.
And I was so proud of myself too.
You know what's so funny? Okay, so first of all, what it was the Fender, the Ideas Fender number 37, Ideas number 37,
Yeah.
and it was sitting there at the Bricks and Minifigs booth, and that was at the very end of the show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Towards
it
the
was
very
just
end,
a
the
couple
last
hours
hour,
before the end.
and I was making a video earlier today of all the vendors, and
The Fenders?
the fenders and vendors, the vendors. And Bricks and Minifigs was last on that, and it was not in the picture. It was not in the video. So I don't know when they put it out, but that was a day before.
And you made the video? Okay.
I made that video on Saturday, and it was Sunday, right at the very end of the show that I bought it.
Oh.
And so it wasn't out there for display. So I think I lucked out there because, yeah, I spotted it, like went over there, and you were like, it's $60. And we thought, you were right, though, about the retail.
that was the thing. I said, that's a pretty good price. Well, you
Yeah.
said, I think that's good. I said, no, that's really good. I said, isn't that like a $120 set?
And I thought it was like 80 or 90
You're
bucks.
like, no, it's 80. And the thing that made me laugh, the guy that was there, he was
Yeah.
like, no, it's 80.
Uh-huh.
I was like, it's
And
at
like-
least 100, I know. And you know why I know that? I can tell you why. My daughter's friend, some guy gave it to her. Like, it's not someone she
wow.
dated or anything. It was just like a guy in like one of her classes, and he gave it to her.
Really?
I was like, that's like $100. And then we'd seen it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there you go.
Normally, Alex is right, and I'm, not quite right.
This time
But
I was
this
way
time,
off, and
I
you
was,
were
like,
quite right.
Strutting.
You're like, oh, yeah, he shows me the phone, and okay, so as soon as he shows me that $120 price tag, it was on sale for $60, $59.99,
Half price.
half price, and I went, bag it. And I didn't have my wallet with me, and I'm like, oh, shoot, hold it for me, and I'm looking around for my wife, and I'm like, honey, can I get the credit card? I need to buy something. She's like, here you go. I'm like, thank you. Ooh, here you go. My wife said it was okay. So funny. Anyway, I made a purchase, one thing I was looking at a lot, though, there was 3 vendors that had the land speeder, Luke's land speeder. There were 3 prices that I found.
Yeah.
One was the normal price of $240. One was, it was north of $300. What was it? And I went, whoa, yeah. In the video, I haven't. These will be posted throughout this week and next week or whatever. It might even be out now. I don't know. The timing always screws me up. But the cheapest one, and I was tempted. I think someone got it. Was
did
I
they?
think $180, like $180.
It was just under. It was like 178 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Because
And
I was like, oh, if he's gonna get it.
That's pretty good, especially for a show price.
Well, and especially sealed.
Yeah, it
'cause the
was a
Fender,
sealed
I mean,
set,
that
yeah.
was a used one, but if you get a sealed one,
I have a trivia question for you. It's not really trivia. I just want you to guess a price. I saw Rivendell sealed at one of the vendors, and I said, "How much you selling Rivendell for?" Guess what he said? That's a $500 set.
I'm gonna guess this isn't the guy that was in the corner that had the good prices that you're referring to.
Probably no. Well, no, I don't know. There's so many.
That's
of
the
them.
one that had the land speeder and a bunch of things.
It
below
might
the
have.
tail.
Okay.
So 500. They were asking 650.
Yeah, you're right.
Were they?
Yeah,
Hey.
650. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, you win Rivendell. Hey.
Winner, chicken dinner.
It was so funny when I was filming with my GoPro, and I said, "How much you want for Rivendell?" 650. I'm like, oh, okay. I went away. I'm like, that's not going anywhere. I don't know. It kind
The
of praised.
Simpsons house for 600 sold.
Did it really?
It did.
Well, that's actually a decent. Well, I don't know. It's an okay deal. I had that sealed as well, and I sold that a couple, maybe 3 years ago for $400, and it wasn't retired for very long. That is what I would say a rare set.
Yeah.
They had a short run. It's a big set, and people love it.
Yep.
Pop culture item. You know what? You know what I heard a lot when I was walking around? The word rare. Like this is very rare. Yes, when you buy that, don't touch it. It's only going to go up in value. And I went, I think the word rare is thrown around a little too easily. Like, oh yeah, that's rare. Oh yeah, that's very rare. You want to hold on to that rare. And I'm like, do you know what the meaning of rare really is? I mean, it just means that they're valuable, right? There's in short supply. They're highly sought after. There's not enough to go around. Therefore, there's a premium. But I feel
But
like
is that
it's
rare? Because when I hear the word rare, I think of not common. Like
Yes.
that's what I say.
Yes.
I wouldn't necessarily put it as valuable because, I mean, there's not many podcasts like ours. It's rare.
This is a
but
rare
it's not very
podcast.
valuable. So, but you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean,
when you put it that way. But when you're looking for something to like it was minifigures,
Yeah.
right? Minifigures is a big thing that's like, oh, this is a rare thing. And like, for example, what is your rarest minifigure?
my rarest or most valuable?
Okay.
Because that is a
So-
different question.
So here, and that's true. And how do you differentiate that? And how yeah.
Because that's where I think people get confused. They think, oh, it's valuable, so it's rare. So, for example, there is the Chrome Gold C3PO,
Oh yeah.
10,000 of them, and it sells for thousands of dollars. There's 10,000 of them, right?
So that would be rare.
Well, it is rare, but is it super rare? I mean, so they made the Billund Airport, right? The gal told me they made 10,000 of those.
It's exclusive.
It's
right?
exclusive to that location.
There's not very many of them, but nobody really cares to get it.
So then that's why it's $90 on eBay, and the gold C3PO is a couple $1,000.
Yeah, but it's the IP is what jacks that price up. Another example is the Bricklink Designer Program. This is a controversial thing because people, because what happens now, and it really sucks, is that people know that people are going to spend a lot of money
They
on
buy
these
them to
things.
resell.
So and even though it's limited to 2 per household, who knows that maybe their friend, like, hey, Jason, I'll just pay you back. Just buy them all for me as much as you can. Blah, 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 blah. And then I got 4. Maybe I get a couple of other friends.
Shipping them
you
to
know?
your moms, your sisters.
Exactly. Per household, no problem. I just use different names, different houses. Hey, dude, I'll pay you back on Venmo, PayPal, whatever. Just give me the stuff, and then maybe give them a percentage. I don't know. They don't know any different, maybe, if they're not Lego people. But irregardless, it's kind of, I'm fine with Lego investing. I'm fine with it. I do it myself. That's why I'm fine with it, because I do it. But I don't like the idea of scalping. I don't like that. You buy it, and you know it's gone. As soon as you get that, so is that a rare item, or is it just valuable? There's only 20,000 per.
Well, I mean, it certainly is more rare than, you go to Walmart and you find whatever set that's at every Walmart.
Yes.
So, I mean, there is that rare factor. But again, I think it goes back to some of the other things we talked about. Exclusive.
Yeah.
Rare isn't the only factor in taking into account of it, right?
Yeah.
They're
Well, like for example, Earl from Mardi Gras Man 2-3, he commented on my a video of the yard sale at the show because he wants the Ghostbusters Firehouse headquarters. Who wouldn't, right? The thing, and I was selling it at a discount of $800. Now it's not mine. I'm selling it for a client. I like saying that. I'm selling it for a client. I'm representing my client. This is his price, and this is what I'm allowed and authorized to sell it for. So, but Earl, he made a good point to me in comment, and it was a really good point, Earl. So if you're watching, I appreciate your comment. I haven't replied to it yet, but he said it's because I said, hey, it's all for you, man. I'll keep the sale price for you at $800. And he said it's kind of like my attitude about buying it is the same as yours about the Wally. I was like, ooh, you are right. I want it. I would pay a premium for it, but $350.
And that was used.
And it was used. It was open. I thought it was sealed, but I came back and it was opened up.
I saw the guy had the box open. That's when I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
$350 for a Wally?
If it'll go for that, I have one, and I have the box.
I don't even know what it goes for, honestly. I don't even look it up. But I don't know if it's $350. I'm never gonna get it. So Earl, I totally get you, man. So thanks for that.
I bought mine used, and I did not pay that. I think I paid $150 for it.
I saw it one time years ago at Bricks and Minifigs, and I should have got it.
Well,
Live and learn.
You have a little one.
I do have a little one now, and it makes me smile. It really does. So, all right.
$350.
All right. I've talked about the rare subject. I did want to talk about the meaning of rare in the Lego community. So let us know what you guys think about rare. Is it thrown about a little too cavalierly? Is that a word? We make up
It's
words.
not used rarely.
It's irregardless. Anyway, all right. So what's the next topic? What else is going? This is breaking news,
I guess
right?
So we're getting off of track of
we're
our
all over the
normal
place.
This is what happens when I let him run the show. Look what happens.
Woo.
Anything going on in your city other than buildings falling over? Or has it all been Brickslopes? It's probably all Brickslopes.
All Brickslopes. Hold on. There's got to be some sort of news in my city.
I only have 2 small things, so.
Gosh, no, I don't think I have anything. I got to get back to my regularly scheduled program of working in the city. I'm not going to do any major rebuilds anytime soon. I think I got to get back into doing an interior on the Shmu Tower, getting that elevator working, fixing the elevator, making it work on the hospital, things like that. So yeah, just routine maintenance. And I need to get back on. Okay, so after seeing Bricks, I keep going back to Brickslopes because there were so many castle layouts.
Yeah.
And when I say layout, I mean it is a layout. Like these were big. And was it West Valley Brick from Phoenix was there? Is that what they were called?
Yes.
My favorite by far. And I was sad that they were runner-up in the Best in Show. Man, I thought they should have won because it was out of this world. But they, I'm looking at this and I get so many great ideas looking at these fantastic MOCs for.
You're gonna light it, sensors and movement.
So what I'm thinking, what I would love to do, and this is tough because it's under the city, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore. But I'm not old. But I mean, if you talk to my kids, yeah, I'm old. But I'm getting under that table.
I just hear you get down to the table and you sound old.
Yes,
Pretty much.
Hey, I do that. I don't know, habitually now. It's just I'm like, well, I'm old. I got to make the sounds of an old guy. Ow, my back. Anyway. Irregardless. Wow. I want to just do the terraforming, and I want to do it right, and I want to make it in a way.
So you're gonna get rid of the felt, and you're talking about
the felt. I'm not gonna get rid of the felt. It's gonna be under there. It's there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take it all out and remove it. Maybe. But I had this idea. And this is just recently. I was thinking this because of Brickslopes being so recently on my mind that I could actually build it in like sections, so I could remove it and transport it, and maybe put it in a show.
Ooh.
Maybe. But the amount of bricks needed for the terraforming, because I would want to do mills.
Yeah.
And terraforming takes, not for the city. Everybody just calm down.
That's like a dirty word
Everybody
here.
calm down. Mills for the...
You're gonna change it to Mills Deapolis?
Anyway, irregardless, it's an ambitious project. It would take a lot of green elements, green bricks and gray bricks, and all the bricks and leaves.
Because that was the thing that really set theirs apart to me is they had the rocks, they had the green, but they had those trees.
Just fantastic. But it was an entire group. I mean, how many people did they have doing it? Like it was over 10, right? Like 14.
Yeah. Well, they have a whole group. They didn't all come.
They weren't all there.
So,
yeah, there was like 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them. I don't know. That were there, but if you're watching this, fantastic job. You know, kudos to you guys. Salute, hats off, whatever. Fantastic stuff. The sound effects were great. I mean, you guys will see it in the other videos. I don't want to spoil it.
Well, and that's the thing that was amazing. And he had talked about that at dinner. Remember, he had set up sensors, so it wasn't like constantly, moving in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
It was when people would come, he said it would sense them and it would do stuff.
Yeah, and it also would read a story. I think I didn't hear it. But my wife Mindy was talking to him during the show, and she said, he's going to send me the audio. I was like, really? Wow. With the farts and everything? All right.
Maybe that's the only audio he's going to send you.
We don't need that. We got plenty of that in our own house. No problem there.
We got a couple of old farts right here.
Oh, jeez. Man, we got a lot of zingers. Anyway, that's what's going on hopefully what's going on with my city. So what you got?
Let's see. So my city... back together. I got the one build back.
Your one build. You had your people mover there. That had a lot of oohs and ahs. That was cool.
And yeah, it did well. I was actually surprised. I came on Sunday and I got some sort of recognition. I don't know
really cool.
They didn't ever say. I don't know if this was like the show or someone else did it. I don't know who was the sympathy or pity award.
This
but I'll
is the
take
show because it's Brickslopes.
I know it's their logo.
And but no, this means that the U-Lug
Someone
gave this
liked
to
it.
you. And I didn't even get one. I got one of these, one or two of them last year.
Yeah.
Oh, the airport got one. I know that.
Okay.
But I didn't get one this year. I got a lot of cool tiles from people. And Mindy and I are going to do a special edition of a special episode of Mindy Fig Mayhem. So that's something you guys are going to want to look out for. But I
You
thought
mean the tiles people place?
the tiles,
in front
yeah,
of it? Okay.
the appreciation tiles, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you think that we
Maybe
got to
we'll
get a
have to do that for
tile
next year.
for a Breaking News tile
There
that
you
we can
go.
give people like, hey, I like that, I like that. You know,
That'd be
it's not a
awesome.
bad idea. So, and there's a lot of booths or vendors that apparently do that kind of thing.
Printing things. Yeah.
Really neat.
There's a local guy. So.
Yeah. There's a local guy too.
Yeah,
Was
he's
that
in
Brickslopes?
Orem. Mhm.
Oh yeah, but that'll cost about $1 million to get that many tiles.
Well, then we just make it rare.
Then it'll be rare and valuable.
No, it'll just be rare.
Just be rare. Like Breaking News. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, cool. All
Those
right.
guys.
So it's all back together.
Yeah,
And
so I got
congratulations. This is great.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
I looked at the show. Not a single vendor sold an Oswald. The only vendor that had one, where they were selling the cases.
The whole thing. Yeah.
And they had a set, and I was like, well, I don't want the whole set. I already
Just
got
one
that.
Oswald. Yeah.
Just one Oswald.
But
I had the 4 viewers. It was Sam and Enoch, I believe.
yeah, they've come
They
to my
had
city a
brought
couple
me
times.
4. Yeah,
Yeah,
they told me,
they're awesome
I think
kids, man.
their relative lives nearby or
Yeah,
something.
next
and so-
door. Yeah.
So they came over. It was super cool. And I felt bad because Alex wasn't there when they found me.
Where was I?
I don't
Was
know.
I out to lunch that time or?
Oh, well. Insert your
Right.
own joke.
We don't want to talk about that.
Alex out to lunch.
Out to lunch.
Yeah, anyways. But we did find them because we did chat
Yeah, I
with them. I don't
did,
think it
yeah.
was in the video. So, but that was cool. But no, that was super awesome. They brought those.
That was
And,
great. Yeah.
I went home because that was Saturday. I went home and got those added into the
Yeah.
Oswald Tower. I actually raised it. I ended up opening all of the sealed Oswalds because I had to have. I had
whole
literally the
collection.
exact number to fill.
Wow, really?
Because I was gonna keep the last one I got sealed, and I was like,
So,
well,
a question for you on the Oswald Army. I noticed that it's 3 sides,
yes,
and that's purposeful because it's got a
it
front.
was on the shelf.
You ever thought about just doing all 4 sides?
Originally, it was.
Oh, okay. But
But-
now with the size that it is, are you thinking like, well, that's the way to go? Or is it just
So,
kind of get taller and taller
Part
and
of my
wider?
concern is it's on a tiny shelf. It actually hangs over all the sides of the shelf.
The French cleat? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
What was I calling it at the show? Like
Your one word,
your
one
parabola, your
yeah, it was
crabbly,
like a one
your
word,
shoo-doo-doo.
3-syllable.
What was
I
that?
don't
Your
remember.
the apparatus.
I don't know. I still remember when you were struggling with the hoopty. The whoopee,
the whoopee, the hoopity-doo, the Humpty
whoopity-
Dumpty.
Yeah, that was great. We looked like real experts. At
We
the
were
show.
so professional, very knowledgeable. Yeah, Jabba would be proud of us.
Yes.
Mm.
But no, I'm worried if I do that, it'll move the center of gravity away from the wall,
Well, of course it will.
and it might fall.
Well, yes, it would. Probably.
I don't
you
want
push
that.
it out far enough. Get a bigger cleat.
Well, I don't want to make another cleat. I have plenty of open cleats. They're just not the height I need. So it's okay.
Okay. Well, I was just offering a suggestion.
No, I appreciate it, but the problem is the Lego store, when I was there last time, said they're not getting any more Disney CMFs. So
Aww.
I am now going to have to turn
all Bricklink.
to the black market.
Well, or I've noticed that a lot of viewers are helping you out.
I've had a few.
They're helping you. They're getting the deals for you. They're sending them to you. They're selling. They sold those 4 to you at the show.
And I
That's,
appreciate
they
it.
just walked right up to you.
Yep.
What great fan service.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are on the alert for you, like, hey, I found this deal, or they can grab them for you.
There's one of the vendors. I walked into his little booth.
This is
Like
funny.
I stepped one step in. Every time I got near his booth, he would yell at me, "We don't have any Oswalds.
We don't have Oswald's. Go away.
You already got them all."
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Yeah. So, but I did bring that on Sunday because we had that open space. I'm like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
put it out there.
And we brought
there
the
were
pirates.
a few people. Yeah, we
Yeah.
brought those.
The
did
pirates
we bring
were
those
either
Saturday?
side. I thought, was it Saturday or Sunday? No, it was Saturday.
I think it was Saturday
Yeah.
because you had Mindy bring it.
Yeah,
and I, had
I brought
it
mine. Yeah,
yeah.
she brought it over a little
So we
later.
had those, and it was interesting because I would hear some kids, "Oh, I want that."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah, good luck."
I did hear a lot of comments about the pirates. They kept everybody said, "You can only get that at Lego House. See that pirate? You can only get that in Denmark. You can only get that." Blah, blah. I was like, "Yeah, that's right."
I was flexing our two.
Jordan, though, who's the voice of Lego over the land, you were showing him your the Oswald Army, and he saw the pirates. Like, oh, did you get that for early review? I'm like, no, I wish. But I had an awesome friend who got it for me. He's like, oh, you had a hook. I'm like, yes.
And he lives in Billin, and we asked him, did you get one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't got
He's
it
like,
yet.
did you get yours yet? I'm like, no, I'll get it though. I'm like, yeah, you better get on that, man.
I hear it's rare.
I hear it's very rare, but not valuable.
Well,
Not yet.
It is valuable.
Yeah, I guess so. Are people selling that for ridiculous prices?
Oh yeah.
How
Yeah,
much?
I think it was what was it, like $85? I think.
I thought it was 90. 90 USD.
Whatever. Something like that. But it was. I haven't looked recently, but it was selling just I think over $200.
Okay, so twice the price, a little bit more. All right.
So, but you can only get it there, so that's the way it works.
Speaking of twice the price, I was talking to Jordan about trucks in Denmark, and he says that if you want to buy a truck, there is a 200% tax. And I was like, whoa, wow. And I was complaining about my 7 1/4 here in Utah.
And we're talking just pickup trucks.
Pickup trucks, yeah. And then he said if it's a normal sedan,
Any
gas-powered, 100% tax. 100% tax. And he said, but get this though, if it's electric, 100% electric, guess what? 0% tax. Like, I wonder if the government's trying to send a message. Wow, that is ridiculous.
Well, and he also said that if his daughter was driving before age, he would also lose his license.
Yeah. I guess the driving age out there is 18.
Yeah, in Europe
and she was 15, almost 16, and she was having her drive.
Yeah.
And
he's like, well, her friends are learning in the States.
So. Yeah, so let's do this thing. And,
someone warned him, you better not do that.
Don't do that. Big mistake. Anyway, it was
so
funny guy.
Speaking of Jordan,
do
we want to talk about the
let's do it.
The fortunate
let's do it. Yeah.
Chance we had to interview him.
A very fortunate chance. It was fantastic.
Hopefully
to know.
You saw the video.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you haven't, pause this and go to it's on my channel, I think, right? We're posting Friday, I think, is what it went up.
Special report.
Special edition report. We've only had
a very
rare but not valuable special report with Jordan Paxton, and we asked him a lot of your questions about the LAN. And he was very forward and honest and open with all the questions, and a really just like a fun guy to talk to. Really personable, really easygoing, laid back guy. And we just caught him in the back of the show. It's like, hey Jordan, can we ask you some questions on video? He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, you want to do it here? You want to do it out there? I was like, oh yeah, let's go out here where it's a little quieter. So we went out in the foyer, and you got it all set up. He was very patient. We mic'd him up, and you read him off the questions, and it was fantastic. So what did you want to talk about first with that?
Well, I guess the first question, anything from that interview specifically jump out to you?
Well, other than the fact that I really want Star Trek to happen.
And that was not a viewer question. That was
great.
I asked for Alex because I knew. I said, "Well, we'll at least
that
plant
was for
a
me.
seed."
Yeah, you know the idea. I loved his response about expensive Lego sets.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good response, and you can tell he's a PR person. He deals with really tough crowds. He dealt with tough crowds at Brickslopes. There was a LAN meeting with ambassadors only, and then there was an AFOL meeting.
Oh, was there?
Yes, there was. But
I didn't know.
Honestly, there wasn't too much of a difference between the two. Yeah, there was some stuff that was spoken in the LAN where he's a little bit more. You know, it's funny when he was in the LAN meeting, he just arrived 2 hours prior, and he was so jet lagged. And he was so not himself. He was up there, he was visibly tired and not himself. Like he's really like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Charismatic?
Well, yeah, charismatic for sure. But I don't know. He moves a lot more. But he was just like there. Animated. That's what I was looking for. He's very animated, you know. And he even said like tomorrow when after I get my sleep, I'll be normal Jordan again. And, but his mannerisms are fantastic. He's very fun to watch. But yeah, he was like very serious with us, and there were serious topics he was talking about because when it comes to the LAN and things that we deal with, there's very black and white things that he had to deal with, and there's some things that were not so fun that he had to bring up to us, and that I can talk. It's on my little laundry list here, but I'll get to that later. We want to be positive right now. But you know, here's the thing: the general feel from that whole experience, not just the interview, but the Q&A sessions with them as well, of the AFOL meeting, whatever. The feeling that I have is that they want to not just expand the LAN, but specifically for fan media. I think they're looking at that as an opportunity to improve their brand with the AFOL community. Right now, it's relatively new. I think the question was, I asked him, how many LAN members are there globally? I think he said 340 something. Okay. And how many of those are fan media? Fan media being like our channels, like YouTube, Twitch, channel. My channel, sure. Yours is maybe someday. You'll get there.
I'm LAN adjacent.
LAN adjacent, next door. I live next door to the LAN dude. The other guy. I'm the other guy. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but I asked him how many fan media ambassadors there are, or communities rather, and he said it's either 80 or 90, one of the two. And I think that's going to change significantly. I think he even brought up on a number of occasions like he would love to see a community in Vietnam.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things, because he had talked about that in the meeting the day before.
Right.
So I made sure I wanted him to expand about that on the
because
interview.
They can't. Well, he would love to see Vietnam and other areas in specific that I think he brought up in that interview be represented in the LAN. They don't reach out to them and say, "Hey, would you like to be a recognized community?" Yeah. They have to apply. So he's like praying for certain people to apply, right? So it has nothing to do with your ability to be a great representative of your community as a LAN or an ambassador. A lot of it has to do with where you are. The logistics play a big part in that. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, and I would imagine it's not necessarily just where you are, right? Like if I go to Vietnam, but I still do an English American-based channel.
Sure.
That's not what they're looking for, right? They're looking for, I think he said in like United Arab Emirates. So he's probably looking for someone that's going to do video and content in Arabic, or someone that's doing it in Vietnamese, or whatever markets they might else be looking for.
Yeah. I think Jordan mentioned they operate in 22 markets. Like there's a U.S. market, right? Or maybe it's a North American market and things like that. But yeah, it was really interesting. And I mean, if he couldn't answer a question, he didn't answer it. But he was fun about it. Yeah. He was really fun about it, and I appreciated that. Yeah. So yeah.
I figured he wasn't gonna give any big news around Price or the GOATs, right? I mean,
GOATs. He's bringing Tom Brady.
He's like, well,
he's so funny. Oh my gosh, he's just.
But yeah, how he was like, oh wow, you're really bringing me some breaking news,
Some breaking news.
But I thought that was funny.
What else was there?
The other one I wanted to talk about was, so we asked the question about the QR codes, specifically on the brickheads. You know who you are asking that question.
He didn't believe it.
He challenged us on it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to push back too much.
No, I didn't want to
think
either.
It was the right place.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't know that it's on all of them. And I couldn't say for sure, no, it's all of them. Maybe there is, what did he say, the llama or something?
Yeah.
But the thing that was interesting is he did kind of piece it together, and he didn't necessarily say this, but if you put those pieces of what he said, kind of what I would read into it is, so he said that the GWP, which doesn't have that, that's done by the same group that does Brickheads.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine, they do smaller projects, so they probably have more free time. That's why they gave it to them. And so I'm guessing that it's maybe kind of an oversight.
Mistake, yeah.
That it wasn't, no one thought about it. Because what did you think about those QR codes 4 years ago? I would scan it, and I'm like, this doesn't do anything.
I never even tried scanning it.
Well, my wife would, because she thought it would take her to the instructions online, and it never did, and it would just frustrate her.
Oh, no
Same
kidding.
thing. I wish I would have asked him, what's with the QR code on the bag? Why? Those do nothing either, and they don't even give me points. Anyways, irregardless.
What else was there with it, though? There was, I wanted to bring up, there was something else.
The other thing that he had talked about in the meeting, and I made sure, it came out, because I asked that question about
third parties.
The positive thing. Oh, no, I was going to talk about the positive thing that the LAN has done for the community.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think they sometimes get a unfair, some people
a bad rap.
think there's an unfair, rap, of people just shilling for Lego, whatever. But, he talked about some of the processes in the meeting, and, we only had him a few minutes, so we couldn't get him to do an hour and a half meeting again. But, the one that he talked about was, Monkey Kid, and, the Chinese New Year sets, how, Chinese New Year sets, if you look at the first couple years, they were Chinese region only. right? Just like some of the brickheads were U.S. only, because he said the Europeans are mad about that. And so, that was one of the things that I thought was interesting to hear, that Monkey Kid was not going to be available. Even if it's only online, you still have access to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not quite as rare.
Not quite as rare.
Thanks to Jordan. Because he said in the meeting that he freaked out and was having a conniption fit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not his exact words, but that's
it
what
was
I took from
close
it.
enough.
So,
Close enough. Yeah. We also talked. I don't know if we asked him about leaks or not, or if that was the AFOL meeting. Was it the AFOL meeting?
I did not ask him about leaks.
Oh, I think I asked him
I tried
about
to
leaks.
stay
I
away
don't
from
know.
anything that would get
And
you
I'm
in
not.
trouble.
I'm not going to say anything here that I shouldn't be saying, and I'm not going to say like Jordan said this, so watch out.
So you're telling him not to tune in anymore.
Well, no, it's still good information. It's public knowledge now. If there's some things that dropped that was unfortunate, and the topic of leaks.
Because I saw it during the show, and I said something to you, I think Sunday.
Yeah, right. So leaks is a big issue. We asked him, like, well, we don't like. It was just like a casual conversation on the floor of the show in the hall. We were talking about, do leaks frustrate you as much as they frustrate us? Like what happens when we put there like, hey, this is a leak. And he says, it infuriates us. We are more mad at the leaks than you are. And I said, oh, wow, that's good to hear. But can they do much about it? Not really. Unfortunately, when we look at like the history of leaks, where are they coming from? They're generally speaking never land members, never ambassadors. It's always like a retailer that has some employee that gets this crappy shot of it, and then it just spreads like wildfire. Well, there was this Braille bricks. Lego, a couple boxes that were sent to select ambassadors, and only ambassadors though, not retailers. Yep. And I think Duck Bricks was one of them. And I'm saying his name because it's all public knowledge now, and he himself has a video about it. Yeah. So, and you guys, and I've watched it today too. Yeah. But that was a tough one because it was a land member that leaked it by mistake. I mean, it wasn't any malice involved, but they called and said, hey, you're the source of the leak. And he felt awful. Like it was just an awful experience for him. And he took all the stuff down. And he said that there was an email. He says he should have looked for the email and just searched Braille. I think there was probably a communication difference on how they communicated it to him, and that kind of throws you off. But it was a good reminder to me as an ambassador to always double check, because I even left him a message or a comment. Mm-hmm. I said, dude, you're human, no big deal. I think this is going to blow over eventually. No worries, man. Good advice about always checking your email, because I got the Jazz Club with no information about it, no email, and I just got it. But my lesson was I should have at least put it in the forums in the land saying, hey, I got this. What are the details on this? Somebody who has the email, tell me about it, because it was one of those darn sets that had a reveal date and a review date. Oh, and I did my review. I published it on the reveal date. I took it down pretty quick because it was pretty obvious that people were like, hey, what's up, man? You got to be doing this. Like, I'll take it down. Anyway, live and learn, right? Yeah. But he owned it, and he's on probation for 6 months. And but I think was it in the AFOL meeting? Yeah, it was the AFOL meeting. He was talking about the panel. Okay. There's a panel that you have of at least 7 people. Oh, yeah. And it has to be unanimous for somebody to be kicked out or accepted into the land. If there is one person that disagrees, then it doesn't happen. So let's say, for example, they find my mistake unforgivable. Okay, it was up for a couple of hours, your Jazz Club video. We want you out of here. And they'll whether it's 7 people. I think he said it was up to 12 people sometime. Yeah.
Well, and he also said that they have representatives from that market.
That market, yeah. So it would be the North America, U.S. market, whatever. And if it's unanimous, it's not a 3 strikes. Because I asked him, is it 3 strikes and you're out? I think somebody else asked that. Okay. He's like, no, it's not strikes. It's that, what's the severity of this? And do we all feel like, based on your history and what you're doing and how big or bad the leak was, that we have to boot you out? And of course, there's he didn't share any details about how many were for or from that. Nothing like that. But I felt bad for him. I really did, because it's an honest mistake. And it came with other things too. I think he had some brickheads with it.
Yeah.
So gosh darn it, it's tough, man. So I don't know if you're watching this, Duck Bricks, but we feel for you. You'll be fine. But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have any support from the land for that 6-month period. But he'll be back. He's fine. He's got an awesome channel. Great kid. You know what I've noticed? A lot of these YouTubers, these up-and-coming YouTubers, they're really young.
Yeah.
Man, they make me feel old. And they're so good with social media. They're just so energetic. And I'm going, underneath my tables. Anyway. I mean, when I first started my videos, I was in my early 30s. So I wasn't like a spring chicken back then either. And now I'm just a middle-aged man.
Well, YouTube wasn't a thing when you were a spring chicken. So.
No, it wasn't. I guess I can say like I was one of the, can I say I was one of the OGs? I don't know. I kind of got into it kind of early. I mean, you look at the quality of the videos, wow, it's pretty rough. 4:3 aspect ratio, 480p, dead pixels. Oh, but you know what? I'm proud of them. They're
got
me.
You where you are.
It got me. It was planting the seeds. So, but it planted the seeds for these younger guys and gals because they're doing fantastic. So good for you guys. I wish I could see that same amount of growth, but I guess I'm not. I don't know. We have day jobs. I don't know. I think a lot of them do it full time. Like there was one guy's like, why aren't you quitting your job and doing it full time? Like,
I like to eat.
I want to pay the mortgage, man. Anyway, it was just kind of funny because the amount of money that you just recently got monetized too, right?
I did.
You're getting your ad revenue, so you can quit and do it full time.
Yeah.
But the
I
amount
don't even get paid for your chicken basket.
the amount that I get is so volatile. But it's a very small amount. Like I guess if I was a working part-time as a teenager, it might be decent. Yeah. It pays for an extra Lego set or two here and there, but that's really about as best as it is. So I'm not quitting my day job. I have a good job. It pays the bills, and it's very flexible with my hobby, with doing Lego and all that. So I am not giving that up.
Well, and I think that it would bring a whole different aspect. Like number one, it's not going to be a hobby. It's going to be your job.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that look.
Number two, if it is how you pay your bills, it's a whole different level of stress it's going to bring, right?
Yeah, it's like working on commission.
Like you said, I got to pay the mortgage. Okay, well.
All right, today I got to figure out some good content that's going to get people to watch and retain that. That's tough to do. So I like the feeling of just having fun with it. You know, it's a hobby of a hobby. Yeah. It's fun to do, and this collaboration is actually pretty fun. Kind of weird, right?
It is?
But yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's just different. I mean, we're just like we're unscripted.
It is different than our regular videos.
Very different. Yeah, those are a little more regimented and I don't know. I was gonna say better, but no, they're not better.
Speaking of these videos and fun, we do have to talk about one thing from Brickslopes.
Oh, we do.
Oh, we do.
Oh, okay. What is?
I think you know.
We're talking so much about. Oh.
I knew we could.
Do we have to talk about that? I haven't even seen the video.
We haven't done an episode
as of right
so
now.
Long.
I haven't seen.
But you lived the video.
I lived the video,
and
I don't care. I don't care to watch it because you were doing the editing on it. I don't care to watch it. I really don't. In fact, as I'm watching that episode, I'll probably just skip through it.
No, you gotta watch it.
Oh, watch it.
You gotta watch it.
It was the blind build. We're talking about the blind
build.
build. Okay, so first of all, this should go on rants, but here we are.
Yeah, you can keep the rant part of it to a couple weeks.
Okay, I will try.
We didn't have a curtain where we could face each other.
So we can't face each other. We can't hear each other. It's so dang loud.
No, I could hear you because you were.
I was right behind you.
You were right at me.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm like trying to listen because you're sitting right here.
That's caught in the video. Like, you're like, I can't hear you, and I'm like,
I can't speak up. But there's so much noise, so loud, and then they give us. It's a speed build. Team.
No blind build.
No blind build, sorry. It's a team blind build.
Speed build would have been better.
That would have been more appropriate.
Yes.
And they have all these boxes. We have no idea what the set is. Yeah. And they pull out this large, rather large for what's going on, Ninjago set. Yes. And it is like 700 plus pieces. Yeah. And they're like, okay, there you go. You have an hour. Like, even if we were building this as a speed build, I don't think we could have done that in an hour. Maybe.
No, I think we would have.
But it's Ninjago.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying my best not to rant here because I want to save it, but it is so hard.
So, how do you think our technique worked of me giving the instructions and you building? Would we have been better had we swapped?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I had a hard time like focusing because I think it was because of the distractions.
There was lots of noise.
There was a lot of noise, and so because of that, I made easy mistakes. Like you said something very clearly, and I would pick up a completely different brick. I don't know why I did that. I could have sworn in my brain. I'm trying to translate this.
Tanya told me, she's like, I had to hold Owen back. He just wanted to tell him that's not the piece. Because it was specifically the
I know you wanted to help.
The 1x3 and the 2x3 brick.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing early on.
That must have been.
Like, get the 2x3 brick, and you got the 1x3 brick, and put it on. And then a little bit later, you're like, okay, what about the 1x3? I'm like, no, there's no 1x3. Why are we talking about 1x3? It was a thing.
Yeah, your nephew
But
Owen. I'm sorry.
This is not. I do not want this to seem like, well, it's all Alex screwed it up, because I realized, like, once we got past the minifigs, like, it was like immediately I was like, oh crud, okay, I've got to talk about a triangle plate, and how do I orient you to put it in which corner and that kind of stuff.
That's why Ninjago was a horrible choice for this, because they're not your typical like car sets.
Yeah.
The pieces are all over the place. They're very specialized. There's a lot of snot techniques going on, and it's just what? And the description of the pieces is a whole other level. It's not like get a 1x4 brick. Now get the axle. Now get the wheels. Yeah. Or get the windshield. Get the steering wheel. Like and I get that would be kind of easy, but it'd be more exciting that way.
Well, people would have finished.
Yeah,
I mean, no one finished.
And that would have been fun. But it was all about just getting
one bag in.
One bag. Okay. Anyway, I'll stay tuned for the rants because I am gonna go off on that. Anyway, so yeah, there's the blind bill was great. It was more painful than our real blind bills that we did on this channel.
I don't know that I would agree with that.
I don't know.
Because number one, my build was much harder. Mine might as well have been an Ninjago set.
That was tough. But at least it was doable. Like it wasn't a 700-piece Ninjago set, and it wasn't loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, we gave our blindfold away.
We did.
Cool.
We had a viewer, Eldon, collected that
I'm
sure autographed blindfold.
I'm sure he's put that in a frame and put on his wall.
I bet he probably has his wife wear that every night to sleep.
It's probably in the bottom of the garbage can. Anyway, but that's all right. It was still pretty fun. I like how they're so disappointed when they see their prize. All right, here we go.
Oh, a signed poly bag.
Gee.
By you guys.
Thanks. Ooh. You guys, wow, this will be rare and valuable.
But the little kids loved the bigger sets we gave them.
We gave some big.
We gave away the blind build.
I did not want to see that set. I was so happy.
Oh, he was so happy to have that.
He was, man.
That
was such a great thing about that, because we brought we brought our poly bags from our personal collections, but I had a few sets that were dead sets from the LAN that I didn't have to review, so we were just giving those away, and that was so fun to see the kids, faces light up, especially that one that brought the MOC in, his own MOC.
Yeah.
That thing was we didn't get video of it, just pictures. But man, we made that kid's year.
Well, because it was when I was coming in, like I wasn't filming at that point.
Yeah.
And I just saw him carrying in a base plate, and I'm like, "Hey, you got a MOC?" And he was telling me all about it, and I was like, "Oh, we got to go find."
And I got stuck on a phone call with my wife. Was it my wife? I don't know. Probably was. But yeah, you were asking about it because I saw him walking up with it.
Probably Jordan giving him more secrets.
Yeah, right. Gotcha. Let me write that down.
That Jason guy.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to get rid
of
that
other guy.
The other guy, yes.
Okay, that's the other thing I got to think.
What was I going to say? Anyway, that was a cool thing to do, to bring your MOC in. We stalked him. We found him.
And he had it on display over by the Bricks and Minifigs.
Yep. So and we gave him the Lego set. Yeah. So that was great. Some video game Lego City sets or something.
Cars.
Like that. Cars, I don't know. Yeah, it was awesome.
The other thing that jumps out at me.
It jumps out at you, huh?
There's a couple things that really solidified for me as either things that we say or that have become like jokes within our show. Do you know what the two are specifically?
The whole entire podcast.
Well, these are inside jokes.
Inside jokes? It's not irregardless?
Irregardless is one of them. The other thing...
It's not anything with the blind?
No, it has to do specifically with you and me.
Oh, okay. So this is... Oh, I know what you're talking about. So there's Alex Nunes and this other guy with me. Like,
Because we'd made a joke about it, like in an episode or two. Because I don't know, someone had commented.
Someone
about
made a
it,
comment,
and it was
like,
just funny. I'm not offended or anything like that. So if you made the comment, please
it was
don't take that way.
hysterical.
We thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And there was a couple times we were like, "Oh, it's the other guy."
The other guy. Mindy does it too now.
Does she?
Like, I saw the other guy in the background. No.
that's funny.
Oh yeah, it was great. The other guy was there. Yeah, those are good. I guess they're good jokes. Irregardless, this is the other guy.
Funny.
Funny stuff. What
All right.
else?
I don't know. I think
We've been talking for a while. Let me see if I got all through I made a list of things to talk about just to make sure. Oh man, we covered 3 of the 4.
I think we got a lot.
My own thing was just a question, and this is actually my news.
Okay.
News, because when I bought those IKEA shelves to kind of alleviate the stress of all the shelving space crisis in my office, and so I took all those shelves down, and I haven't done anything with that wall. It's like all ugly. It's got the holes in it still, and I don't know what to do with this. I can't put shelves back there because it was just too much. But I thought, you know what? Maybe this is the opportunity for me to get into more of the Lego art pieces, right? The mosaics and things like that. And somebody suggested the world map. I'm like, hey, you know what? That's kind of cool because it is the largest Lego set. And I mean, I don't like it as far as maps go. I wish it wasn't emphasizing the oceans. I wish it was emphasizing the landscape.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe I could modify it. But that might be a good start.
I would tell you.
Oh, okay.
I think you should think about doing the art. You've seen I have the Darth Vader one.
I love that.
That one's pretty cool.
That is really good.
And then I finally did one personal mock, I guess, mosaic mock, for my grandpa.
I like that too, yeah.
And that one turned out really well,
Mm-hmm.
which was a really interesting experience. But I think you should look at doing some mocks.
Yeah.
Do some things you like.
You know what? That's a
Maybe-
good idea.
Dare we say, go somewhere where man has not boldly go where no one has gone before.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyage of the starship Enterprise.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. There's a lot of things that come to my mind. I love Calvin and Hobbes. There's some great Calvin and Hobbes stuff. Oh, did you see the Calvin and Hobbes
the build.
Spaceman Spiff
Yeah.
build? That was so awesome. I forgot to go back and get a bunch of pictures of that, but that was a great mock. But yeah, little things like that. But you know what? That is a great suggestion. What do you guys think? Do you agree with him? Should I do my own custom stuff? Not to mention the Starry
You can
Night.
make a big
would be
logo
great.
of Bricking News.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
That would be easier because the colors would be simpler.
You know what? You're not wrong.
You got that black, white, red, yellow. I'm just saying.
Indeedy. Well, yeah, there you go. There you have it, folks. That's it for. That's all I
But I
got.
wouldn't do the map because I don't.
You don't think I should do the
I don't
map?
think you should do the map. I think you should do something, but the map for me doesn't scream Alex.
No, it does not. It screams, I suck. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I beep. No, I'm not saying I suck. I said the map. Never mind. Just cut all this out.
No. Maybe
members
the camera
only.
shut off.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Are you even here still? Is anybody still listening to me? Okay. No, that's great. I'm actually going to look into that. I was impressed with a lot of the custom stuff, like Kendra. She came and saw. She's a fan of ours, and she did a couple. Like she did Winnie the Pooh and the Yellow Ribbon. That was fantastic. I think that's a great.
And there were some with
Great entry.
like Duplo.
There were
'Cause
Duplo.
we had was it Tracy that came up and she had done.
Yeah, was it? Did she do Starry Night in Duplo? No, she had done it before. What did she do? No, she did. It was
It was in
Starry
our video
Night.
last week, and I'm pretty sure it was in
Yeah.
the video. And,
No, it was. I swear it was Starry
Might have
Night.
been. I think you might be right.
Yeah. Okay, so it's either there or
Forgive
she
us,
showed me.
There was so much Lego.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was.
This is what happens when it's recorded live.
Live.
It's not live. It's recorded.
Well, for us, it's
Whatever.
live.
Barely
Dead.
alive.
Barely alive. Yeah. What else, man? Are we good? Did we get there? Are we there, man? Has this been an awesome episode or what?
It has been. Well, you're half right. It's been an episode.
It's been an episode. It's a rare episode, full of value, because we had some cool stuff to talk about. It's amazing how much content a weekend con can do for you.
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah,
funny
for both of
'cause
our channels.
We didn't really talk about a lot of news. I mean, we talked about the land, you know,
Yeah, well, we
But-
give the audience what they want to hear.
but I think we had other stuff this time.
We did have other
So-
stuff, but it was still good breaking news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well,
I think that's it.
well then, Jason, take us out. You know what to say.
So we would like to thank who?
Thank our sponsor.
No, it's today's sponsor. That's what we messed it up last time. We got to figure it out.
Okay, let's
We'll
try it.
figure it out.
Well,
We'd like
let's try it
to
again.
thank
Okay.
Our sponsor.
Today's sponsor. All right, what are we going to choose? Is it our sponsor or today's sponsor?
I just messed
We-
it up on
we-
purpose because it was better. You tell me.
Today's sponsor. No,
Today's
it's always a different sponsor, so it's not our sponsor. Like Bricks and Minifigs always sponsors the show, but today's this
sponsor.
video's
All right.
sponsor. This video is brought to you by today's sponsor.
sponsor.
Now that's terrible too. You know what? Heck with it.
Just watch
We'll
it.
figure it out.
This episode of Breaking News is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. Since 1956, Jersey Mike's has been serving fresh sliced, authentic Northeast American style sub sandwiches on fresh baked bread. But that has only been in the real world. Now, Jersey Mike's has expanded into the Lego realm. That's right, now even Lego minifigures can enjoy the great taste of Jersey Mike's subs. So when you or your minifigure pals are hungry, think Jersey Mike's, a sub above the rest.